Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're looking at a story that, well, it starts out as a severe medical anomaly, but it quickly turns into this absolutely incredible display of human resilience. We're going to be diving into the life of Duangjay Samaksamam. And look, this isn't just some clinical breakdown of a rare condition. No, it's a journey into the life of someone who made the profound choice to just stop hiding and actually start living, despite facing physical hurdles that are literally unimaginable for most of us. Let's get right into it. I really want you to picture the sheer determination this takes. We're talking about a woman bearing an immense physical weight every single day of her life. And yet, she proudly manages her family's grocery store in the province of Suan in Thailand. It's just a stunning contrast, right? On one hand, you have this severe physical burden that makes, every little movement an agonizing chore. But on the other hand, you have this powerful, unwavering dedication to her family and her business. She doesn't just exist with this condition, she actively leads and supports her family through it all. Section 1. The diagnosis. So to really understand the gravity of her daily life, we need to look at the medical reality this 59-year-old Thai native has faced literally since birth. Okay, let's dive into this. The medical term for her ailment is macrodystrophia lipomastosa. It's an incredibly rare disease, and basically what it does is cause a massive, permanent enlargement and a huge amount of weight gain that's specifically localized right in the hands and arms. So instead of normal tissue development, the fat and tissue just grow disproportionately and persistently. Her limbs have been permanently altered by this condition, and she's been dealing with this relentless physical reality for over 50 years. It's not just some temporary swelling, it's a fundamental alteration of her body's structure. And to put the sheer scale of this condition into perspective, according to the reports we're looking at today, doctors found that each of her arms weighs an astonishing 1.5 stones. That's roughly 10 kilograms or over 20 pounds per arm. I mean, wow. This absolutely shocking metric has actually led doctors to officially declare that she has the world's biggest hands. Just try to wrap your mind around carrying that kind of physical weight. Every single time she lifts her arm or reaches for a product on a shelf or, just tries to give a family member a hug, she's fighting against this extreme localized gravity that we just can't even fathom. Section 2. 20 years in hiding. Now, knowing the immense physical toll this takes, it's absolutely crucial that we also look at the emotional and psychological impact, especially during her formative years. The reality of her appearance forced her into severe social isolation. Growing up with a visible condition in a world that, quite frankly, often struggles to understand differences, it can be incredibly alienating. She was entirely consumed by the shame she felt about her illness. In fact, for the first 20 years of her life, she essentially lived in the shadows. Because of the intense judgment she feared from the outside world, she hid away, avoiding school at all costs. Think about that for a second. 2 whole decades, missing out on an education, making friends, and just the simple joys of growing up, all because she felt forced into hiding by a condition she couldn't even control. Section 3. Stepping out for family. But as with all great stories of resilience, there's always a turning point. And there's a staggering contrast between her past and her present. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is seeing that shift. After 20 years defined by hiding, feeling shame, and avoiding school, she chose a dramatically different path. And the catalyst for this change? It wasn't some miraculous medical cure, and it definitely wasn't a sudden shift in public perception. It was the call of duty and just deep love for her family. Today, she is living openly. She realized she needed to come out from hiding and start working so she could support her loved ones. As the eldest child, a massive responsibility fell right onto her shoulders. She inherited the family grocery store and stepped right up to become its manager. She took all that fear, all that isolated shame, and she literally traded it for courage. Section 4. The daily physical struggles. Now, while this is an incredibly inspiring story of overcoming social isolation, we definitely can't gloss over what this actually takes from her on a daily basis. Stepping into the public eye and running a business didn't just make the macrodystrophia lipomastosa disappear. Tasks that you or I do entirely on autopilot, well, they're monumental endeavors for her. She explains that even routine things, like just walking, cause agony. Getting from one side of the grocery store to the other is a really painful undertaking. On top of that, getting dressed is noted as being incredibly challenging and painful. And basic grooming, something so fundamental to personal dignity, is heavily restricted by the massive weight of her hands. Every single movement requires a calculated, exhausting effort. Duangjay herself puts it perfectly when she says, quote, "Combing my hair or washing my hair is very difficult since my hands are so heavy. Hearing her exact words really deeply humanizes this struggle, doesn't it? It moves us away from just observing a medical case study and connects us directly to her lived experience. It forces us to imagine the sheer physical exertion required just to, wash her hair in the morning. It's a powerful reminder of how much raw strength she has to summon simply to prepare for the day, long before she even starts running her business.
Section 5. The limits of surgery.
Naturally, when faced with a condition like this, the immediate question most of us have is, well, can modern medicine fix it? Actually, many international surgeons from different countries have tried to help by operating on her to reduce the swelling, but so far, none of them have been successful. In fact, she's had several operations to try to alleviate the issue, but each procedure actually made matters worse. And this brilliantly illustrates her incredible resolve, because it led to a really stark realization. Medical professionals finally advised her that the absolute only way for her to move around freely was to have her hands completely amputated. Facing that ultimatum, Duangjay explicitly refused to act on their advice. She chose to keep her body exactly as it is, firmly rejecting amputation so she can navigate the world on her own terms.
So the really crucial point here is the choice she makes every single morning. She is choosing to live openly. She's embracing her duties as the eldest child and actively managing that family grocery store. And she's doing all of this despite a relentless 50-year battle with an incurable condition that brings daily physical pain. She chose a life of family, of public visibility, and of profound purpose over fear, hiding, and amputation. It is an absolute triumph of the human spirit over physical limitation, showcasing a type of courage that is honestly genuinely difficult to even comprehend.
As we wrap up this explainer, it leaves us with a pretty profound question. What unimaginable obstacles would you be willing to overcome to support the people you love? Duangjay Samaksamam answered that question by walking out of the shadows and bearing immense physical and emotional weight to manage her family's store. Her courage challenges all of us to look at the obstacles in our own lives, maybe just a little differently. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this incredible source material, and hey, keep seeking out the stories that remind us of how strong we can truly be.